This video will explain the inventory section of AutoFluent settings. From the AutoFluent main screen, click the gear icon. In the inventory column, click the Item Groups button. Item groups can serve several functions in your system. A new installation of AutoFluent will have several preset item groups for parts, labor, fees, and several other types of items. This allows for more concise reporting because it breaks down your sales into these different item groups. The more item groups that you have, the greater ability you have to see how specific segments of your business are performing now as well as over time. When your accounting software is integrated with AutoFluent, item groups allow you to assign specific general ledger accounts to each item group, giving your accounting department much greater control over where credits and debits get posted in your accounting software. When you click New to create a new item group, you will need to enter a group code, which is a short description of the item. You can enter a full description here. From the drop-down, you can select which type of items in inventory are included in this item group. You can also check this box if the items have a cost, and also if this item group will be active in the system or not. Once each of these fields have been filled, save your changes. If you need to change the name of an item group or merge it with another item group, click this button. This button will show you every item in your inventory that does not have an item group assigned to it. You can then select an item group to assign each of these inventory items to. If you want to see which items have been assigned to a particular item group, click the appropriate View Items button. If you would prefer to set a default markup for all of the item groups in your system, select this line here. Set your markups to your preferred levels, mark it as active, and save your changes. Here is where you can assign which general ledger accounts your accounting software will be posting to for this group. This setup is initially done by one of our AutoFluent technicians. If you use AutoFluent in a multi-store environment and you want these settings for this item group to be copied to each of your locations, click this button. If you want to use the selected general ledger accounts for other item groups, you can click Copy Accounts on the first group and Paste Accounts on the second group. The Rounding Method drop-down allows you to set how each of the items in the item groups are rounded. You can also copy and paste markups from group to group and set group minimum markups. If you don't want to use the default system markup for all of your item groups, you can set the markup for every stocked item for this particular item group. For every outside part that belongs to this item group, you can set the markup percentage based on specific item cost increments. Click the Item Group Subtotals tab. When you run a daily report, one of the reports that prints is an Item Group report. You can also print an Item Group Subtotals report. On this tab, you can create all of the subtotal groups that you would like to see on that Item Group Subtotals report. This is very helpful if you have a large amount of item groups. For instance, if you have 15 different item groups for different types of passenger tires that you stock, you could create a passenger tire subtotal group. On the Link Groups to Subtotals tab, you can link all of your item groups to the different item group subtotals that you created previously. Click the Price Levels button. On the Standard Price Levels tab, you can rename each of the 12 available price levels. You can also check the appropriate box if you want this price to be hidden in the system. On the Special Price Levels tab, you can configure custom price levels as needed. Each special price level will have its own set of rules as to not only what items or group of items are contained in this price level, but also the custom markup or discount for each of those items. You can set the base price level from this drop-down and adjust each item as needed. Special price levels are ideal when you have a customer that requires specific pricing in your system and eliminates any guesswork or confusion when creating a quote or work order for that customer. On the Prices Used tab, you can select from the drop-down menus each of the price levels that you want to be displayed on the inventory search window. Any price levels that you do not want displayed will be hidden if the appropriate box is checked. You can display as few as 2 price levels on the inventory search screen. On the Customer Prices tab, you can change the price levels of a great deal of your customers at the same time. From the drop-down menu, you can select very specific parameters as to which customers will get their prices changed. After selecting the customers, select the new price level you are assigning to these customers, then click this button to make the changes in your system. Click Item Types. Item types are the foundation of every item that you create in inventory and is what tells your AutoFluent system how to treat each item. Because adjusting the settings on this screen incorrectly can immediately adversely affect how AutoFluent works, most of the settings on this screen can only be changed by AutoFluent technicians. One setting you can change is to assign a default item group to each item type. This would make it so whenever you create a new item of a specific type, the default item group will automatically populate the item group field. You can always change the item group from the assigned default group before saving the item. When you click the Oil Viscosities button, you will see a list of each oil viscosity that will be visible when you open a lube package in AutoFluent. You can delete any of these that you do not use, and add any that you do use. You can even create custom viscosities so that only specific types, brands, and weights of oil are available for specific lube packages. A detailed explanation of this setup is available in the lube package video. Finally, click the Manufacturers button. Here you can create any manufacturers that you want to be able to assign to different parts in your inventory. This is completely optional. Each manufacturer can have a code of up to 15 digits. You can add a description of the manufacturer and what item types are associated with that manufacturer in your AutoFluent system.